Okay. Pranam Swamiji, let us start.
Yes, Amma. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharya Nachiketase cha. Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So now we enter into section 4 of the second chapter, first Valli. So again, this Valli is a very practical, a Valli which is very famous for some of the verses here. Okay. So now let us start with the first verse, a very famous verse from Kathopanishad. Page number 191. Paranchikhani vyatrunat swayambhu tasmat parang pasyatinantaratman kaschidhirah pratyagatmanamaikshat avruttachakshuh amrutattvamichan. Paranchikhani vyatranat swayambhu. The Lord Swayambhu, Swayambhu, self-born, Swayambhu, who came by himself. That self-born God, what did he do? Vyatranat, he killed. Whom did he kill? Khani, the sense organs. And what is the nature of the sense organs? Paranchi, they are outward going, extroverted sense organs. So God killed the extroverted sense organs. Then what happened? Tasmat, therefore, parang pashyati. These sense organs, all the time they look outward. Na antaratman, they never look inward, the inner self. They always look towards the outer world, not the inner self. This is the case with most of us. But kaschid dhirah, very rare few, rare wise people. What do? Ichan, desiring. What do they desire? Amritattvam ichan, desiring immortality. Avrittachakshuhu, they look within. They turn their attention within. Very few wise people are there who look within, desiring immortality. And what happens to them? Pratyagatmanam aikshat. They see the Pratyak Atma, the inner self, and attain immortality. So this is the translation of this verse, literal translation. So it is said here, God has killed the sense organs, which are extroverted. So here the term used for the sense organ is khani. Khani, a very unique usage. So jnanendriyas and karmendriyas are called khani here. Organs of knowledge, organs of action. Why this term is used? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya explains. Kham means space. Kham. Akasha is called kham in Sanskrit. That is why a bird is called khaga, that which moves in space. So therefore khaga means pakshi. Even aeroplane can be called khaga in the modern context. So khani, why sense organs? What sense organs have to do with the space? So then those who have studied Tattvabodha, they know. So first element is space. From space comes the next element. What is the next element? Air. From air comes fire. From fire comes water. From water comes earth. This is how the Pancha Mahabhutas they derive. From the subtler to the gross. So space has got one property. Air has got two properties. Shabda Sparsha. Fire has got three properties. Shabda Sparsha Rupa. Water has got Gandha also. I mean, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa taste. And finally the earth. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. So from the subtle to the gross, that is how manifestation happens. Now after five elements are born, the sattvic elements, they go from the each, what you call, say for example, space. Every element has got sattva, rajas, tamas. So the sattvic element of space, they go to become the jnanendriya related to space. So that becomes the ear. So Shabda is a property of space. So related to Shabda, we have the, what you call that, the organ of hearing, ears. Then the unique feature of the next one, air, sparsha. So that organ of touch comes from the sattvic element of air. So in this way you have to see. The next is fire. What is the unique feature? Shabda, sparsha, rupa, form. So that's the eyes, the organ of seeing. So the sattvic element of fire, from that comes the eyes, Chakturindriya. So these are the fundamentals you learn from Tattvabodha. So in this way, the whole point is this. From the five elements, the sattvic aspect of the five elements go on to become the jnanendriyas. The rajasic aspect of the five elements go to become the karmendriyas. The combined sattvic element of all the five elements, combined sattvic aspect, go to become the mind. And the combined rajasic, they go to become the prana, pancha pranas. So the point is this, since all these jnanendriyas and karmendriyas have come from space, so therefore the term used is khani. In short, khani means sense organs. That's all what it means. Jnanendriyas and karmendriyas are called khani here. And what is that nature? What is the nature? I think somebody has not muted. So what is the nature of sense organs? They are extroverted, paranchi. So here it is said God has killed the sense organs by making them extroverted, especially the jnanendriyas. Now see, jnanendriyas are called organs of knowledge. So what is the job of jnanendriya? It should give us right knowledge, isn't it? Now, is it giving us the right knowledge? So the verse says no. These organs have been cursed by the Lord, and therefore, in the name of knowledge, it is giving you only. It says, see, I will give you knowledge. And the eyes are giving us the knowledge of the outer world, knowledge of the outer world, knowledge of sound, ears, knowledge of color and form, eyes. So all these sense organs, they claim to give us knowledge, but actually speaking, are they giving us knowledge or ignorance? So they are giving us ignorance alone in the name of knowledge because they have been cursed by the Lord. This is what it is. Killed by the Lord. So all these sense organs in a way are inauspicious because they take us away from the truth. What is the truth? I am infinite. I am immortal. The truth is consciousness alone exists. Everything else has no existence. Everything else is an illusion. What is my true nature? My true nature is I am consciousness. But what do these eyes and ears tell me? They say, no, no, you are not consciousness, you are this body. So the eyes will show me the body and make me feel that I am the body and make me feel that I am limited in this body, that there is something other than the body, that I am existing in the body. You see, all these wrong notions have come because we trust the sense organs. And what is the nature of the sense organs? Swayambhuhu Vyatranat. Swayambhu, the Supreme Lord. And what does the sense organ say? That there is nothing called God because I cannot see them. I cannot hear. You see? And what is the true nature of God is Swayambhu. Swayambhu means the one who is causeless cause. He doesn't need anybody else to exist. In fact, God alone exists. He is Bhu, existing by himself. He doesn't have to depend on anyone to exist. In fact, all the organs are existing because of him. God exists and all the sense organs have borrowed their existence from God, the self, the consciousness. And what do these sense organs say? See, we exist, God doesn't exist. You see? Sense organs existing because of God. What do the sense organs do? They mislead saying that there is no God, only we exist, and we alone are the supreme authority of knowledge. So therefore, the sense organs are inauspicious. They have been cursed by the Lord. They take us away from the truth. And because these sense organs are always extroverted, what is our condition? Tasmat parang pashyati, all of us, including the so-called scientists, they are considered to be the wisest people, most intelligent people. Everyone, parang pashyati, we are all looking outward for solution for our problems. For peace, happiness, security, where are we looking? You are looking outward. This is what happens when we follow the cursed ones, the inauspicious ones. But Kaschit Dhiraha, very rare few, very, very rare few. Kaschit Dhiraha, they are wise people. What do? Amrutattvam icchan. They understand that Amrutattvam is impossible by looking out. Amrutattvam, immortality is impossible to be achieved through the body. It is not possible. So what do? They go against the flow. They don't follow the path of the majority. They go against. Where do they go? Pratyagatmana, inside. Avritta chakshu. Avritta means turned inward. Chakshu means eyes, looking inward. Say, though they don't follow the path of the sense organs, they go inward. Icchan, desiring amritattvam, immortality. And do they get it? Yes, yes. Pratyagatmanam aikshat. And then this inward looking makes all the difference in their life. What do they find? Aikshat. They see. What do they see? Pratyagatmanam, the inner self, the pure consciousness, which is immortal, infinite, blissful, perfect. The point is this: look within. If you want to truly be happy, look within. There is no other way. Going outward is dangerous, is misleading. Going inward is the only way. Continuing, verse number 2, page number 194. Same thought is taken up. Parachah kaman anuyanti balah te mrityoryanti vitatasya pasham atha dhira amritattvam viditva dhruvam adhruveshu na iha prarthayante. Yes. So all those people, parachakaman, those who go outward, chasing the outward worldly objects, trying to fulfill the worldly desires, who are they? Balaha. They are childish. They are children. What do? Parachakaman anuyanti. They follow the worldly desires, the worldly objects. They desire the worldly objects and thus they go outward. They are childish. And what happens to them in their childishness? They mrityoho vitatasya pasham yanti. What do they attain? They attain the trap. The whole world is a trap spread out by mrityu. That is what is said here. The whole world is a trap. And once a being is trapped, he attains death alone. Te mrityoho vitatasya pasham yanti. Atha dhiraha. Wise people, what do? Amritattvam dhruvam viditva. Knowing that this immortal thing alone is permanent, this self alone is permanent. Adhruveshu na hiya prarthayante. They never desire anything of the world which is adhruvam, which is impermanent. So here clearly the difference is made between wise people and ignorant people, foolish people. So what is the used? See the words used. Wise people are called dhiraha. Please understand, dhira means what? Not courageous person. Dhir, veer, shur, parakami, not that dhir. Dhi means buddhi. So dhira means wise people. Throughout Kathopanishad you will find this term. Dhira, dhira, dhira. Wise people are called dhira. So dhira versus balaha, you see. Balaha or moodhaha. This is the term used. Childish. So the term used for foolish, ignorant people are bala here, bala. So if you see the small children, they don't have any knowledge. And what do they get attracted to? They get attracted to the external attraction, the outward glitz or glamour, attraction, outward shine. This is the nature of any child. So they say this fire looks very beautiful, very shining, and they go and catch the fire and burn their fingers. So many tragedies have happened. Children, they sometimes see the snake, they go and catch the snake and gets bitten. It's a very common thing in especially villages. They go towards all dangerous things. And just because attractive, they just go and catch. And sometimes they fall into the pit also. You see? In the cities, children, they put so many things into that socket, electric socket, and get electric shocks. They put their finger into that fan, the fan rotating, and they injure themselves. So many dangers. Why? No ability to think, no knowledge. That's why this term is used, bala, childish, children, unintelligent, immature, bala. So what do? They go outward. Where do they find happiness? Outward. Parachakaman anuyanti. They follow the outward, what you call, they follow the worldly objects for their happiness. And ultimately, what do they attain? They yanti. They attain the trap. So the whole world, now this is, see this unique way they have put. The whole world is a pasham. Pasham means a trap. Hmm. Vitatasya pasham, a spread out trap. There are so many traps. And who has laid all these traps? Mrityu. All these traps are laid out by Mrityu. And who is telling this? Yamaraj himself is telling this. Mrityu himself is telling that the whole world is my trap. So why is this world called a trap? Anything you get attached to, it can be a thing, being, or a situation. If you get attached to that thing, you are ensuring your rebirth. Because we are born in this world only to fulfill our desires. So if you are desiring anything of the world, any being of the world, any situation of the world, you are indirectly telling the cosmic forces, I want to be born again to enjoy this thing, being, or situation. And whatever you desire, the cosmos is designed to fulfill that desire. So if your desire is worldly, the cosmos will give you a world, give you a body, give you the sense organs, give you that conducive environment to enjoy that worldly object. So the world is created for that purpose, to fulfill our worldly desires. So why are we in this world today? We are in this world today because we have desired something of the world. So cosmos become helpless, it will have to give you that. Because the desirer is none other than Paramatma. When Paramatma desires, the Prakriti has to obey. Because who is this Jivatma? He is none other than Paramatma only. He is Bhagavan only. So, we have to be very, very careful with all our desires. Because every desire is an indication that I am going to come back to this world. So, therefore, every desire will take me to the world. Every desire will make me take birth in the world, and anyone who is born will have to die. So, therefore, every desire is nothing but desiring death. You see the conclusion. Every worldly desire is nothing but desire for dying, not desire for birth. You see? So therefore, the whole world is a trap of death. You know how we trap this rat, etc.? How do we trap the rat? So there is a rat trap and some pakoda or something, some fried item, something, you hang it. And this rat, getting the smell of that fried item, it comes and does everything to get that pakoda. And now there is a way also. So it enters into the way. And the way is such that, there is something, you step on that, there is a door which opens. And the moment this fellow pulls that pakoda, the door closes. You see, this world is also like this. There is an initial pleasure. If you see any sense object, there is an initial pleasure and there is a final pain. That's how the sense objects are designed. So who are these balas, immature people? They see the initial pleasure, but they are unable to see the final pain. That is called as immaturity in spirituality. Every sense object, Bhagavan of his infinite kindness, infinite compassion has put pain in every sense object. Wise people, they are able to see the pain. Immature people, they are not able to see the pain. They are stuck up in the superficial pleasure, superficial attraction. They think that this object is nothing but joy, nothing but happiness. They go after it. And finally, what happens? You enjoy it, and very soon there is pain and there is suffering. Te mrityoryanti vitatasya pasham. So every time you get attracted to anything or anyone or any situation, what you should see? You should see the trap of death. You see, any sense object which attracts you, remember, as you are getting attracted to sense object, you are also forgetting God. Forgetfulness of God or forgetfulness of self and attachment of sense object, they go together. The moment your attention is upon the sense object, your attention has gone away from yourself, away from the Lord, away from the consciousness. This is what happens. So now and then we have to see, where is our attention? Is my attention outside or inside? This is what the wise people do. Never forget God. Never get attached to the world to such an extent that you have forgotten God. No, don't. Then you are desiring punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. So therefore, wise people, what do? Naiha prarthayante, adhruveshu naiha prarthayante. They don't desire anything of the world because they are all adhruvam. Adhruvam means what? Impermanent. Never desire anything impermanent, because from impermanent things you can never get permanent happiness. What we are seeking is permanent happiness. Permanent happiness can come only from permanent thing. And the only permanent thing in this world is the self, which is already there in us. You don't have to create it, it is already there. Just you have to pay attention, give importance to that. You give importance to anything by paying attention to it, not forgetting it. All our suffering is because of self-ignorance. You have ignored the self, therefore you are suffering. We have ignored God, therefore we are suffering. So what should we do? Stop ignoring, start paying attention. This is the whole point. Bhagavan, how? So page number 197, verse number free. Ena rupam rasam gandham shabdan sparshanscha maithunan etenaiva vijanati kimatra parishishyate etat vaitat. So how to pay attention to God? A very practical tip is given. Yes. How to pay attention to God, attention to self, God, all these terms are synonymous. They are all one and the same. So that by which yena rupam, form, rasam, taste, gandham, smell, shabdan, sound, sparshan, touch, maithunan, even the sexual pleasure and all kinds of pleasures. Etenaiva vijanati, with this only you know. How do you know all this? You are aware of all this, isn't it? You are aware of color, you are aware of form, touch, smell, taste, and various kinds of experiences. You are aware of it. Etenaiva, with this only. Etenaiva vijanati, with this only you know. Kimatra parishishyate, what else remains other than this? Etatvai tat, it is indeed that. This is all what you need to do. So every moment we are experiencing the world. Experiencing the world means Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. With what is it that we are experiencing? We are experiencing the world with the help of consciousness. And that is why every experience we say, I am conscious of. For every experience you use this term, I am conscious of. I am aware of. Ah, the only thing you need to do is shift your attention to this consciousness. Shift your attention to this awareness. Don't get so caught up with the world that you forget that there is this awareness. I must have given this example before also. Just like the light in the room. Because of the light, you are seeing so many things. So many objects are there in the room. It is because of the light that we see. But then what happens? We forget the light. Our attention gets totally caught up with the objects seen in the light. In the same way, in the light of consciousness, I am aware of my experiences. In the light of consciousness. So the whole of spirituality is only this. Pay attention to the awareness because of which you are aware of everything. You will always find that attention to awareness goes away the moment you get attached to that object. The moment we get attached to the object, our attention from the awareness go away. The moment we get attached to that object, our attention go out. As long as our attention is upon the awareness, our attention is in. Our attention is upon God, upon the truth. So this is what we have to do in spirituality. Right. In fact, all our what you call sense organs can be effectively utilized if those sense organs can help us turn within. जिह्वे कीर्तय केशवं मुररिपुं चेतो भज श्रीधरम् पाणिद्वन्द्वसमर्चयाच्युतकथा श्रोत्रद्वयं त्वं शृणु कृष्णं लोकय लोचनद्वयहरे गच्छाङ्घ्रियुग्मालयम् Jigragrana Mukunda Pada Tulasi Murdhan Namadhokshajam. It's a verse from Mukundamala. Jihve Kirtaya Keshavam Muraripum. O tongue, chant the name of the Lord. You see, Jihve, O tongue. Cheto Bhaja Sridharam. O mind, meditate upon that Lord. Pani Dvandva. O two hands of mine. Pani Dvandva. Samarchaya. Do the worship of the Lord. Do the archana of the Lord. Hey Shrotradvaya, 2 years. Listen to the glories of the Lord. Krishnam lokaya lochana dvayahare. Oh, I see the beautiful form of the Lord. Oh, legs, walk towards the Tirtha Kshetras of the Lord, the pilgrimage centers. Oh, head, bow down in front of the Lord. Oh, nose, smell that fragrant tulasi leaves offered at the feet of the Lord. So now what are you doing here? All the sense organs are employed in worshipping the Lord, in turning inward. In that sense, you have properly, profitably made use of the sense organs. You don't have to destroy your sense organs because it is turning outward. No, no. Make use of the sense organs in such a way that you are reminded of the Lord. Then you have effectively used the sense organs in the right direction. So, in the same way, when I am seeing something, let that thing take my attention to that awareness because of which that thing is seen. You see, then that becomes meditation. Many times we think meditation means shutting ourselves into one room, dark room, closing eyes, looking within. Fine, that is good. But when we are in the world, because all the time you cannot be sitting in your puja room and meditation room, I mean, not possible. You'll have to come out into the world, fulfill your worldly responsibilities, family responsibilities. At that time, is there a meditation possible? Yes, why not? So this is a meditation on the go. Throughout the day, you can do this meditation. It is not at all necessary that you have to be in a secluded spot. No. Even while transaction, even while listening, even when this lecture is happening, you can meditate. Where is your attention? Are you paying attention to that awareness because of which you are aware of the sound which is coming to you, these teachings which are coming to you? Are you aware that awareness because of which you are aware of this class? You are aware of yourself. You are aware of this knowledge of Kathopanishad flowing into you. You are aware. There is an awareness there. Yes, hold on to that awareness. That itself is God remembrance. That itself is spiritual living. Etat vaitat, that itself is this. You don't have to do anything new, anything different, anything out of the world. No, 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 no. God is right here, right now, as the very consciousness in you, because of which you are conscious of everything. Pay attention to that consciousness. You are spiritual. This is all what you need to do. Next verse, verse number 4, in the similar line, page number 200. Swapnantam jagaritantam चोभौ येनानुपश्यति महान्तं विभुमात्मानं मत्वा धीरो न शोचति. उभौ च येन anupashyati, that with which you are seeing. What are we seeing? Swapnantam jagaritantam. Sopnantam, the objects in the dream. What is that with which you are seeing the objects in the dream? It is the very same consciousness. Jagaritantam, what is that with which you are seeing the objects in the waking state? The same consciousness. I am conscious of the objects in the dream. I am conscious of the objects in the waking. That means what? This consciousness is there irrespective of the states of the mind. Whether it is in dream or waking, it doesn't matter. Consciousness is always there. It doesn't come and go. That consciousness, what is the nature of this consciousness? Mahantam, Vibhum, Atmanam. This consciousness is nothing but our Atma, the very I in us, the very self in us. And this self, what is the nature of this self? Mahan it is. Mahan means infinite. Vibhum, all pervading. Don't think that this consciousness is limited to this body, born out of some chemical reaction. No, 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 no. Born out of something in the brain. No, no, no. This consciousness is infinite, all pervading, all knowing. Pay attention to this consciousness. By being conscious, by being aware, this is the spirituality. This is spiritual practice. Every moment let us live consciously. So the practice generally is this. Whatever you're doing, just pay attention to that. This is how you start. Suppose you're brushing your teeth. When you're brushing, ensure that your mind is not going anywhere else. This is the spiritual practice practiced by the Zen people, Zen masters, they do this. Just be there. Don't allow the mind to do multitasking. When I'm brushing my teeth, I'm thinking 100 different things. What should I do? What all things I do? I'm planning. Don't do all that. Never do multitasking. Multitasking is the most dangerous thing in this world. Because when you are doing multitasking, you are never in the here and now. You are somewhere else. And when you are somewhere else, you do all blunders and mistakes. So many deaths have happened only because of this multitasking. People cross the road on the mobile phone. Some vehicle is coming. Attention is not there. Gone. Finished. How many people die? They want to save time by doing so many things at a time. You don't save time. You only lose your life. So this has to be practiced one at a time. Whatever you're doing, pay full attention to this. Remain in awareness. Be aware of what you're doing. Whatever silly thing, mundane thing it may be, just be in the here and now. Don't allow the mind to wander. Make it a habit. Make it a habit to be in the present. That's a very effective spiritual practice, which can be practiced any time, anywhere. And it's a very subjective thing. Nobody else knows what you're doing. They think you are doing something outward, but actually you are practicing the highest form of spirituality. You see, when you are in that consciousness, you will find that, your concentration is 100%. And naturally, the quality of work which you turn out, it is the best because you are in the moment. When your attention is divided in so many places, the quality of work also suffers. Your work is inferior. Whereas when you're in the present, paying attention to the work in hand, then the best work comes out. So it brings material prosperity also. At the same time, it brings spiritual evolution also. So be in the present. That is first step in spirituality. And this is something which can be practiced by everyone. Next verse also we'll chant. Verse number 5. Verse page number 205. Ya imam advadam veda atmanam jivamantikat ishanam bhuta bhavyasya na tato vijugupsate. Ya imam atmanam veda. The one who knows this self, this I. How does he know? At present, we know it as Madhu Adam. Madhu Adam. Madhu means eat. Madhu means honey. Adam means eater. Eater of honey means what? So here Madhu means karma phala. I have done some karma. I am enjoying or suffering that karma phala. This we can clearly see in ourselves. This Atma, which is going through the karma phala, Madhu Adam. But when you start paying attention to the self, Antikat, very closely, trying to understand who this I is. Is this I this Jivatma? Is this I this karma phala bhokta? When you start paying attention, when you inquire into the nature of the self, Antikat, Atmanam Veda, what does he find? Ishanam Bhuta Bhavyasya. We find that this self is Ishanam, Lord, Bhuta Bhavyasya, of the past and the future. So this self is none other than the Lord of the past, present, and future. He is a Lord of time. He is that which transcends time. He is Bhagavan himself. This I, which I think that it is me, actually it is not me, it is Bhagavan himself. And what happens when this knowledge happens? Na tato vijugupsate. The vijugupsa, fear, completely goes away. All kinds of fear goes away. All kinds of fear comes from this wrong notion that I am this body. This body is insecure in this world. All kinds of dangers can affect this body. Death can come to this body. So all the time, all of us have this fear. But the moment you come to know that, oh, I'm not this body, I'm this consciousness which is aware of this body. Consciousness has nothing to do with the body. It is just expressing through the body. I am that consciousness which has no death. Body dies, but the witness of the body never dies. Once I come to know, it is something like knowing that I am not the shadow. And once you know what happens, what is the greatest benefit of spiritual knowledge? Na tato vijugupsate. There is no more fear of anything. That person becomes fearless. So therefore, what is the essential message? The essential message is this. True knowledge is not through the sense organs. True knowledge is nothing but being aware of that awareness, because of which sense organs function. The mistake we have done is we live at the sense organ level. We live at the sense object level. We have completely forgotten our true nature, this awareness, this consciousness. This is the mistake we are doing. So never ignore it. Pay attention to it. And then you will find you are spiritually evolving. And what is the proof of spiritual evolution? You start experiencing Sat, Chit, Ananda in yourself. There is more and more of bliss. There is more and more of peace. There is more and more of clarity. There is more and more of independence. There is more and more of mastery. There is more and more of contentment. If these things are happening, that means we are evolving spiritually. Right. Now we can have some discussion.
Okay, friends, any questions? Either you can put it up on the chat or you can ask Swamiji. Please go ahead. Amit, yes, please go ahead, Amit. Unmute and ask.
Can you hear me?
Amit, Amit, louder, Amit.
Is it better?
Swami, you should be able to hear. That's all.
Audio is less.
Hmm.
Okay, let us come closer.
Ah,
You have to come closer.
So my question is it better? Can you hear?
It's still not good.
Okay.
Anyway, you shout. Shout your answer.
Okay. So my question is, you were saying you should always be aware of God, Paramatma, awareness about our consciousness. But also what happens is sometimes we get in a cycle where we are blaming God for every misfortune that we are experiencing in our life, that is also remembering God in one sense. So what is the difference between these two ways of remembering God? One is where you're blaming everything, but then again you're thinking about God in those times also. But then there's a positive way also. So I was just thinking, what is the difference? And ultimately there will be a difference between the outcome of these two ways of remembering God, right? So just if you can explain that.
See, there is a saying, don't tell God how big your problem is. Tell the problem how big your God is. So what happens is, when I'm blaming God, for me, my problem is big and God is small. My entire attention is upon the problem, not upon God. You see? And that is why a person who is blaming God is miserable. Because his attention is not on God. His attention is upon his problems. For him, God is very small. Problems are big. And that's why he's crying and weeping. When your attention is upon God, God becomes big. Problems become small. And such a person experiences peace. Did I answer, Amitji?
Yes, Swami. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes.
Crystal clear.
Yes.
will we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am. Hari Om Swamiji.
Ah.
So I wanted to ask you that when you were describing about this sattvic element through the in the all these elements. So you said that when the combined sattvic of all is mind and combined rajasic of all is prana. So Swamiji, I wanted to know what is combined tamasic of all?
Combined tamasic is the world which we are seeing, the 5 gross elements. That is a tamasic aspect. There is a process called panchikaranam. Out of panchikaranam, all the tamasic aspect of all the 5 elements, they become together, and thus the whole gross 5 elements are born. See, these 5 elements in the beginning, they are subtle, sukshma, they cannot be seen. Purest space cannot be seen, purest air cannot be seen, purest, all those. When they combine with each other, they become gross, and that gross is what we see in the outer world.
So I guess the way we fundamentally understand tamasic is not like, tamasic is bad, but it is not bad. Tamasic is physical. Tamasic is matter. Tamasic is dense. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. Who else is there? Sumanji, please go ahead.
Yeah, Hari Om Swamiji.
Ah.
Swamiji, the interesting aspect which came in the book is I is God. If my I is God, then why we keep on fighting with this I, or why we keep on working on this I? Why this I creates so much of confusion in our lives?
So this I, in its purest form, is God.
Okay.
What we know at present is the impure I. I identified with body is called impure I. Ignorant I is called impure I. I with wrong notion is called impure I. Just like in the dream, In the dream also I is there. But that I is crying and weeping, seeing all the tragedies of the dream. So what is the difference between dreamer I and waker I? Dreamer I equal to ignorant I. That dreamer doesn't know the waking state. So that ignorance is causing all misery. The moment you wake up, waking up means what? Knowing myself as I am. The moment I wake up from the dream, all my dream sorrows are over. So it is the knowledge of I which puts an end to all sorrows. In the same way, this waker I is also an ignorant I. The moment I wake up myself to my own true nature, all the sorrows in the waking state also gets over. Amma, did I answer?
Suman, any confusion?
No, thank you, thank you. Very beautifully he has answered.
Rahul, go ahead.
Swamiji, is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay, so my question was, I'm not probably not able to frame it properly too, but the thing is that I was saying that to be in the moment, if one is totally conscious, in the conscious of the moment, is it? I mean, just to be in that moment would also probably be, losing track of time. And I don't know, would that be possible? I mean, if one is purely conscious.
That higher state, you can call it a samadhi. In that samadhi,
Okay.
mind disappears. And when the mind disappears, yes, time, space, everything goes away.
So how does one come back? I mean, if one is totally conscious of that, so I mean, where does one go?
Why do you want to come back? That
No,
is your nature.
but the fear of, but there's the fear of losing track of time. I mean,
Don't worry. Don't worry. Your prarabdha karma will take you back. Just like you
okay,
cannot
okay,
sleep indefinitely. What wakes you
okay.
up? It is your prarabdha karma wakes you up. You cannot sleep indefinitely. Though we love to sleep,
Mhm,
we have to get up
mhm,
because the karmas are waiting. Karma phalas are waiting.
okay,
Ah.
okay. Acha, acha.
So don't worry about how to break samadhi. Worry about how to enter into samadhi.
Manisha, please go ahead.
Now, Swamiji,
Ah.
Swamiji, my question is that to have a desirelessness, but the desire to go visit temples, to be in that space is paramount. I don't mind coming back again in another lifetime to cover all the temples that we have. So, is that desire keeping me still on the earth plane, or is that desire something that can be liberating eventually?
See what actually is the desire. You start analyzing it deeply. Is it the desire to go to temple or is it the desire to be with God?
To be with God, but in different spaces.
See, basically, where is that God? Is it in temple or is it in you?
It's in me.
So even when you go to God, even when the arati happens, what do? You open your eyes or close your eyes?
Close them.
So all the way going there and closing eyes, if you can,
Okay.
basically all desires are desire for the self alone.
Okay. I got it. But I have another question. And
Ah.
that question is more to that when we are talking about, okay, I've forgotten my question only. I'm so lost in my closed eyes right now. Allow me to come back with that thought. But I have that question, which is pressing, but I've forgotten it right now.
Manisha, you can
Any
close your eye.
question,
Maybe the question will come back to you.
any question which is forgotten is not
It's
really
not
a
a
question.
question.
Correct.
I got the answer.
Richa, go ahead.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Ah.
So my question is with respect to the the Satchidanand state that you mentioned. Now, what if a person is in that state, the inner peace and joyous mood, when they're alone? Then you feel that, okay, you are, at that level. But that state is not maintained when you're around people. And there can be no particular reason about it. So one, what could be the reason that that unsettled feeling is there when you're around people? And what can we practice to be in that inner peace and within that joy within? So what can be practiced to actually achieve that state all the time?
No, Amma, the first statement which you made, that without reason the mind is disturbed. This is wrong. Without reason, nothing happens in this world. Everything has a reason. Nothing happens without reason. Because the whole world has a cause-effect relationship. If I'm disturbed, there has to be a reason why I'm disturbed. If I'm peaceful, there has to be a reason why I'm peaceful. The whole of study of Upanishad is based on it is logical. So therefore, if you are disturbed in the presence of some people, it simply means that your mind is occupied by some negative thoughts regarding that person. Some hatred, some ill feeling, some past memories. The moment your thoughts become negative, you become disturbed. This is the law. So therefore, you will have to have very good relationship with everyone. What others think about you, that is not your business. You must have this thought that every one of us, we are children of God. Everybody is evolving. There are different stages. Maybe, yes, there are so many imperfections which are expressed in their personality, but they are also evolving. A time will come when they will also merge with the infinite ocean of bliss. We are at different stages. So in this way, when you have good feeling with everyone, then you are able to retain that peace, whether you are alone or whether you are in amidst people.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you, Richard. Anyone else? Manisha? Okay. Great. So no more questions, only answers. So Swamiji, you have only given answers. Thank you so much for being so patient with all of us. And to see you again next month. Everybody, you've had a super presence today. And I hope we continue with that. Thank you, everybody.
Amma, one request. Next is June 13. June 13, can we shift it to June 6?
Shakuntala? June, do we already have speakers?
Yes, ma'am. June, I have given to Shrija, but we can easily.
We can shift, right?
June 6.
Yeah, we can easily.
June 6, Swamiji.
Yeah.
June 13 should be shifted to June 6 and July 11 to July 4.
Okay, Shakuntala, write it down. June 6th and July 4th.
This will be the first Thursday, basically.
First
instead
Thursday,
of
not second Thursday, first Thursday. Everybody, you will all be given some intimation, but just remember this and inform the others also. We'll put it up. Okay?
So it's like the sooner the better.
Yes, we have less time. Rather, when we have more time, you all say that, oh, Swamiji ka to second Thursday hai. So now this time it will be earlier. Thank you, Swamiji. Pranam again. Thank you.
Okay.
Let us end with a shloka, Swamiji.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Pranam to everybody. Thank you. Swamiji, pranam again.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Pranam.
Thank you,
Pranam,
Swamiji.
Swamiji.
Thank
Hari
you.
Om.
Swamiji.